3, 2, 1. Hello, DPP Nation. Thank you guys for tuning in again today on the podcast on this beautiful but somewhat cold day. Guys, I have a surprise for you. Some of you older listeners who've been tuning in for a while might remember the popular series I called LBI, the Local Businessman Interview. Now, by popular demand, you guys been asking me in the comments below to just make some more of those sessions. Now, I've been thinking on who to interview, and just lately I've been actually meeting up with a friend. His name is Wyane Saddler, and he's actually a local businessman, but not so local. He's like 15 minutes away. He lives in Wellesley. But he's one of my good friends, and he was talking to me about this new business he's gotten into, selling essential oils for a company called doTERRA. So yeah, by looking through the comments, I saw that a lot of you guys were asking for LBI. Let's do it again. So I said, why not? Let's give it another shot. So I texted Wyane, and he was willing to do an interview with me. So that's what I got for you guys coming up right about now. After LBI, we're going to have a quick little chat about Nike's new shoe, the Adapt BB. They just released a new self-lacing shoe. And then after that, we'll see where the podcast goes. All right, so speaking with Wyane, I got a chance to go down to his office and have a couple minutes with him. A quick, short interview, guys. I'm not gonna do those 35, 45 minutes interviews that I used to do before. A lot of you guys didn't really like that. So 10 minutes, something like that. I just got the privilege to sit down with him, kind of learn about what he's been doing, his business, and I was really interested. So let's cue that right now. All right, everybody. Welcome back to LBI, our local businessman interviews, where we get the privilege to sit down with our local businessmen in the area and get to ask them a couple questions about their journey, their business, and just get to know them a little better. Today, we're sitting down with our local businessman out of Wellesley. His name is Wyane Saddler. Wyane, thanks for being here on the show.
Hey, thanks, Daniel. Appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this interview.
Yes, of course. All right, so let's begin. Tell me a little bit about your background in the workforce, kind of what you've done before you came into doTERRA, if you had any type of other business experiences, stuff like that.
Sure. Just a brief history of myself. Let's go back a little bit. So I'm a licensed automotive painter by trade. And I worked for printing companies for a number of years, dealing with a lot of chemicals and so forth. Needless to say, then 30 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and that changed my direction in my life. Dealt with that, and moved on, and then to present day with what I'm working on.
All right. So I know that you work with doTERRA, Wyane. So tell me a little bit about doTERRA as a company and kind of what you do for them and kind of what they're about.
Sure. So I'm a wellness advocate with doTERRA. I work alongside with my wife. So I do this full time, and I service the customer base. doTERRA is an amazing company to work for with tons of opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So, what does doTERRA, you're talking about doTERRA, what's kind of their main product? What do you do kind of for doTERRA?
So, as a wellness advocate, what I do is just I help people get well.
Right.
That's the bottom line, and it works. It's interesting because you need to spend a bit of time understanding the products and what they can do but not to an extreme. So it's not like you need to be a pharmacist or a chemist in any way. We just need to be in a position to listen to people's needs and concerns, and help them to work through with using the product as to how it's going to benefit them in the short run or the long term. It's really neat how it all comes together.
Perfect. So what would you say kind of doTERRA's top products are?
I would have to say their number one selling product would be the Vitality Pack, which consists of the VM, which is vitamin and minerals, and there are 12 servings of fruits and vegetables just in that supplement.
Wow.
And then there's the CRS, which stands for Cellular Reconstructive System, which helps to repair any kind of cellular damage that's going on.
That's crazy.
And then the XEO Omega, which is the Omega 369, and it also has 9 essential oils within that product. So those three together combined are really something else. Very beneficial for the body.
That's amazing. The healthy side of this company is pretty amazing, and you said it really helped and changed your life too as you were kind of battling through cancer, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So, who kind of introduced you to doTERRA coming out of the workforce of what you were doing before? Who kind of gave you this opportunity to be introduced to doTERRA?
So about 4 years ago, I was having a tough go again with my health. And then in November 21st, 2016, I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease. I'd had it for over 40 years. Along with Lyme disease, I had also had 7 co-infections, which complicates the whole situation even more. And then from there, it just went from bad to worse. So I reached the point of being in stage 3, which was approaching organ shutdown, so it was killing me. And after I got my diagnosis, my neighbor just happened to be outside when we come home. Obviously not a coincidence. And she asked how it went, and we just shared with her what the results were.
Wow.
And she stepped in and said, would you be interested in trying some product? And at first I was hesitant, just very apprehensive. And then I thought, well, you know what? I have nothing to lose.
Right.
So I gave it a go, and it's radically changed my life.
That is amazing. All right, this is kind of like a 2-part question. So, first, dealing with your business, how do you market your business? How do you get these oils and healthy supplements and other things that doTERRA sells to other people? And then, who those people are is kind of the second part of this question. Who are kind of your customers?
Okay, so just one brief point. So I left my job after 16 years when I noticed some improvement with my health.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a decision maker for me as to what I was going to do.
Okay.
Because of what I had felt and experienced
Yeah.
through being on working with these products. I've tried a number of things over the course of time. Nothing worked. Spent a ton of money. But this was relatively inexpensive in comparison, and it worked.
That's amazing.
So from there, we went to what can we do to help people be educated about this product, because
Right.
it's second to none. It's so amazing. But we also tell people you can't just expect to use the product
Yeah.
and expect miracles, because it's a lifestyle.
Right.
We
Right.
still need to focus on diet, which is really important, and exercise, lymphatic drainage, and those sorts of things. So it just so that's just the kind of like the how the best way to describe it, I guess.
Right. So tell me a little about kind of things that you do that help your business grow. So you were talking to me before about kind of holding classes. Tell me a little bit about that.
So that's our true passion, is to be able to. The interesting thing is when you go to see a typical practitioner, what they do is they tell you what you need, and you go home and use the product. What we do is we encourage people to use a product that targets their need, but we help educate them so they can further things on themselves.
Right.
So they can do more research, and they can say, oh, you know what else is there that I could use, instead of them coming back for an additional consult or spending some time with us. they can look into it themselves, which is really neat, because then they can be self-educated.
Nice.
And that helps them to learn and grow in a way that they feel encouraged, and then they can change their lifestyle even more through the process.
So how often do you keep these classes? Like, do you do them often, or?
It all depends. Sometimes we will have what we call a one-on-one. So I'll be sitting here with yourself, for example, and we'll just talk about the product. How can we address whatever health concerns or needs you may have? Other times we may have someone reach out to us just recently from Toronto area and said, hey, can you come and do a class? And I'll round up some people. And then the word spreads, so you gain some credibility, and it goes from there.
Awesome. So it really varies. All right, so tell me a couple of like important key skills that you need to have in this line of work, in this type of business.
I think above all, an open mind.
Okay.
Yeah, realistically.
Why would you say that?
Because you go into it with no expectations. The most fascinating thing about working with doTERRA is that it's like you're partnering with them, becoming a wellness advocate. So doTERRA is 10% doTERRA and 90% self-development. Wow. So you learn more about who you are and what you can do and your capabilities to work with other people. Wow. And doTERRA is really big on that. They're not out there to add pressure, to push people to sell product. They're just not like that.
Wow.
They really encourage people to take it upon themselves and get educated, to help educate other people who educate other people, and it's just like a snowball.
And it works, right? You were telling me that doTERRA was like number one essentials like oil company in the States, right? And
yes, it's number one. It's number one because of its potency and its purity. Wow. So nothing is grown in a greenhouse, and everything is grown native to the land. So frankincense comes from Oman, and then the lemon comes from France. Arbor Vitae comes from a tree in British Columbia, and on it goes.
That's amazing. So, yeah, you were saying that they don't push for the business side, but because of what you were saying on how learning about yourself and helping others, the business just comes along as a bonus, right? That is amazing. So, how long have you been with doTERRA? I know you were talking just recently you were introduced, but tell me kind of how long you've been with them, and has there been any rough patches? We know we're just talking about really good things here and amazing things, but has there been any difficulties working with this style of business and maybe this company?
Oh, absolutely. There is with any job.
Right.
The most amazing thing is that I don't have someone that I need to answer to.
Right.
So I don't have someone pressuring me saying get out there and make more calls, touch base with people. I don't have that.
Wow.
And so the people that I have on my team, I don't do it either. Right. So my wife and I just encourage people to work at their own pace.
That's amazing. What are some, you were kind of just saying that sounds like a really big advantage, but are there any other advantages to kind of this style of business, this line of work?
Yeah, being your own boss.
Okay.
Is huge.
Yeah.
It's number one. I mean, and then you control how much you can make.
Right.
The sky's the limit.
Oh, okay.
You can make very minimal, or you can max out and make way more money than you'll ever need. But the neat thing with doTERRA too is they encourage people who've done this, and they reach out in such a way that they will partner with orphanages overseas.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And it's not
just expand over there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not to push product over there. It's because they have the money and the funds, so now they're in a position where they can help orphanages and help the people that run the orphanages. So that's very big in doTERRA. And doTERRA will take in return, and they'll take that orphanage and they will advertise it through doTERRA, which draws more people in to help the orphanage more, for example. We have a friend of ours who's actually doing that.
That's amazing. Just for informational purposes, what is kind of like the highest you can go? How much money can you make? And then what's kind of the lowest?
Oh, so you if you come in as a wellness advocate, you know, the first check that you get, you don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
So it could be a few dollars.
Okay.
There are several different ranks that as you go up the chain, And then the top position is called a presidential diamond, and that's about $102,000 a month.
That is wow, insane. So that is pretty good, but that is, like you said, that is not the most important thing when it comes to a company like doTERRA. They really care about the wellness of people, how they live and their situation, and that's the more amazing part. Money is money, and you can get it everywhere, but you can't. You can't find peace and happiness and wellness everywhere, right? So that is amazing. The last question for you, Wayne, how long do you plan on working with doTERRA?
Oh, probably until my final breath.
Oh, that's awesome. So you just found kind of what you like now, and that's really amazing. I'm really happy for you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day. I really appreciate you sitting down with me and having this interview. Well, I want to say good luck to you and your wife and your business. I hope it grows, and I hope you're happy and everything else. So thank you so much, Wayne.
Oh, thanks, Daniel, for the opportunity. It's a privilege to work with you.
Yeah,
I really enjoy
for sure.
the friendship and just being able to work together.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely gonna stay in touch and looking forward to the future and your business and everything else. What an amazing interview. I had so much fun sitting down with Wayne and talking to him about his experience, his business at doTERRA. It really inspired me to look into doTERRA, guys, and just kind of become a little bit more healthy. We all kind of get sidetracked. We all with eating out, eating junk food, and just kind of going day to day and not getting better. Getting well. So I'm definitely going to look into doTERRA and sit down with Wayne more and get to have some business with him. If you guys want to do the same, please. He gave me a website here at doterra.com. If you go there, that will just be the intro to kind of doTERRA as a company. And if you guys do want to get into it further, please leave a comment down below, and I'll get you guys in touch with Wayne. All right, so next on, we'll be talking about the Nike Adapt BBB.